finna put the glasses on. Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to a new video. My name is Prince Mason. Today, I want to tell you how I started doubling my income as a photographer from offering other services. Now, just pay attention to this story that I'm about to tell you guys because it kind of goes a long way back. In 2016, I only offered photography services as a photographer, right? Well, I was a photographer, but I only offered photography services. And I remember I got a job from a client, and he wanted me to fly to another state and get some things done for him. It was like a wealthy client, and I got introduced to him from somebody else that I had worked for, and the person said my work was really good. So after that project, it was just photography. He was absolutely in love with like my work ethic. He was like, the professionalism, blah blah blah, all that stuff. He really wanted to work with me again. So for the next project, they hit me up. We agreed for a price. I can't remember how much it was, but I think it was around about like the $2,000 mark, right? And then he asked me a question. He said, "Do you offer videography services?" And I remember just saying, "Oh yes, we do." And because I had worked for him before, he didn't actually ask to see my work. He just believed that, Prince would definitely do a good job. And then he was like, "Okay, this is our budget." And their budget for videography was like 5 times the budget for photography. And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that would do. That would do, I definitely can make that work." And I remember getting off the phone and hitting my friends up that were videographers, like we're filmmakers, and I was like, "Hey, how much would you take to do this project?" Because I had already gotten brief for the project, and I think they were like, "Oh, it's probably going to like cost," and I think the budget for videography at that point was about 10,000 US, right? And my friends were like, "Oh, could do it for like 5, can do it for 6," so I picked the best person for the job. We got the job done, the money got paid, and I paid out the money to the person that worked with me, the friend that worked with me. And he was happy because that was like a big payday for him, right? And for me, it was kind of like eye-opening that, as a photographer, I can actually offer other services. Mind you, this was back in 2016, right? And it just became a thing where whenever I go into a meeting with a client, I pitched other services that we offer to them. I mean, at that point, I started learning, how to shoot, how to edit, not because I wanted to do it myself, but just because I wanted to understand how these things worked, and I wanted to, be able to direct my own photo, video shoots and all that. So whenever I go in a meeting with the client, whenever I go and inquire for a job and we're, talking about the job, I would always tell the client that, "Hey, we also offer videography services, and a couple other things, let's say you just need graphic design for your stuff, you need, logo, just rebranding in general. We offer these services." And, a lot of clients actually wanted a one-stop shop for everything, and that's why people pay agencies, so they can just deal with one person and the agency can just deal with every other person. But it's not every client that has that kind of money to go pay an agency, like a retainer, consistently for the agency to be able to deal with, like, the vendors for them, right? So it was just easy for them to say, "Hey, okay, get the photography done for us, also get videography done for us, come with your team." And then it got to a point where the services I was offering as a business was making way more money than I was making as a photographer, right? And that's the power of just offering other services as a photographer. Now, you don't need to know how to do it. You just need to, first things first, you're responsible for it. If you decide to take the job, so it's going to be on your name as the business that is offering the service. So if you bring somebody that's not good at doing that job, it's going to be a stain on your name. So you need to look for somebody that is really, really good at doing whatever other service that you want to offer. It can even be social media management for your client, where you integrate it with your photography, and then you're put on a retainer for actually like showing the photos and then creating like a social media strategy for them. And if that's too much for you, can just be offering videography services, can be offering branding services where you're going to do like their graphic designs and all that, but just something at the side that you can actually outsource to somebody else, and the client will be fine with that because the client just wants to deal with one person. And this is a way that you can actually double whatever you are making from a client. Now, the client might already have somebody that is doing the job at that point for them, right? And it's okay, still pitch it, because if you do an amazing job as a photographer and they see how professional you are, they are going to come back tomorrow and say, hey, okay, would like to see what you can offer, for these other things. And that is how I took my business from just being a photography business to being a fully creative business, where we offered way more than photography, where I personally offered way more than photography. And like I said, my business as like a creative business was now earning a lot more money, doing other things than, just me going out to shoot as a photographer, right? And there were so many jobs that I wouldn't even show up for, that I had my team go do that. And it wasn't like my team were working for me, I guess, 9 to 5. Everybody was still it was just contracts, job by job, right? And I didn't have to show up for most of the work, and even if I went there, I would just be like directing and saying, hey, this how to go about this, and this how to go about this, and this how I want it to look. And it took like a huge strain, off me, even for the editing process, right? I would outsource that to somebody else, and that person will have the whole editing done. And all I have to do is just watch it, make some minor changes. And whenever the client wants some things changed, it goes back to the editor. And this is a way where, everybody's making money, and you're also making money, maybe double, triple, quadruple the amount of money that you would actually make from just going to do one photography job. Now, you have to think as a business person sometimes and just take yourself away from being this creative genius that wants to always create amazing work, and just think about other things that you can actually offer in your business that would bring in more income. This, at the end of the day, can be seen even as passive income, because for the most part, you're not doing anything, you're just consulting, right? And just overseeing like the work process. But anyways, that's about it. Before I go today, just want to tell you guys that check out my digital store. Link will be in the description below, and link up here. Got some freebies for you guys. Also got my retouching essentials pack, my skin tone lot, and some other things like my I think it's the wedding styles for Capture One. And I put out a Capture One video recently. If you haven't checked that out, put a link in the description below. It will teach you how to master Capture One. Check that out. I also have a video talking about how you can use ChatGPT for your photography business. I'll put a link in the description too below for that. Definitely check that out. So yeah, like I said, you are leaving money on the table. You are leaving money on the table. Money that can buy you the R5 Mark II when it comes out. Money that can buy you the Z8 when it comes out. Money that can buy you the FX6. Money that can buy you a G-Wagon. Money that can give you a new wife. That can help you marry a second wife. You're leaving it on the table. Take that money from your client, people. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video. Stop leaving the money on the table. Take the whole money. Be greedy. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have an amazing day, guys. Peace out.